Hello, beautiful souls. I'm your host, Shakira Moore, and welcome to another episode of the Perspective Matters podcast. Wagwan people, we've gone through another week. Is anybody else looking forward to the summer and whatever the summer brings? The days are really nice. It's warm. It's a great time to be outside. Great time to do some gardening, to have picnics, to just go for a walk, go for a stroll. If you can do all those things and more, I highly encourage you to be outside. Spend some time in the sun. It'll do you good. Protect your skin, but spend some time in the sun. So this week, before I move on to what I want to share with you this week, if you celebrated a birthday last week, I want to say happy belated birthday. I hope your day was truly magical and you felt really special as you are. And I know I haven't wished anybody happy birthday from January until now, so it applies to all of you. And if you're celebrating a birthday this week, I want to say to you, happy birthday when it comes. Make the most of it. Enjoy it to the max. It is your day. And as I love to say, it's the one day you're entitled to being selfish. So go all out if you can. If you don't celebrate birthdays, I would really and strongly encourage you to start. It's your day. It's the day you graced the earth with your presence. So that is worth celebrating. So think about that and commit to doing something special for yourself if you are someone who is not keen on birthdays, at least your own birthday. And if you are keen on birthdays, then go big, go hard, or go home. I did an episode about celebrating you. It's season 3, episode 5. So if you need a little bit more convincing, I suggest you check that episode out. But I just wanted to put it in here now that happy birthday when it comes, and let's carry on. So this week, I'm not going to share a proverb with you. We're going to do things a little bit different. You know, I like to switch it up. What's going to happen is I'm going to go on a very winding road, and I hope you can keep up with me. Don't get lost. Just stick with the journey, all right? It's going to be good, I promise. So, if we look around, you're going to find different persons, different groups that promote the idea that we're all here to fulfill a purpose. We've all been given an assignment or a mission, and it is up to us to figure out what that assignment is and complete that assignment. And there are other people who agree with that idea, but layer over that the idea that you need to have goals and dreams that are in alignment with that assignment. And so they spend their entire lives finding and fulfilling this assignment, and also encourage other people to do the same. And that's all well and good, because we have seen the effects of living a purposeful, intentional life. And we've also seen the opposite of that experience, where people just go with the wind. There is no real purpose to their life. It's whatever comes along. You just work with it. This is something I think about every now and then, and it's something I grapple with. And I just thought that today I wanted to share my musings with you in an effort to get you to think about it too if you haven't, or to think about it some more if you do and already make an effort to think about these things. I struggle between wanting to find and fulfill my purpose and just wanting to be. And here's what I mean by that. So there are days when I'll think to myself, we have this list, we're gonna crush everything on this list. And these items on the list are action steps that will take me closer to the goal I've set for myself. And in achieving those goals or completing those small tasks, there is that sense of fulfillment and achievement, which is awesome. Like there's no better feeling. And then there are days when I just don't want to do anything. Just want to lie there or sit there and be still. Just be. And on one hand, that sounds perfect, to not have to think too hard about anything or to worry about anything, or choosing not to think and not to worry, and also choosing to not do, but just to be. But for me, the feeling of guilt that comes with days where I decide to not do anything, sometimes it gets a little bit too much. And that's one of the things I want to examine, or that's one of the things I am still examining, like, where does this guilt come from? What is the source? Because you look around you and social media and the influencers, at least whoever you follow, I'm not sure who you guys follow, but if you look long enough or hard enough, you find people who advocate for living a purpose-driven life. And if you're doing anything other than that, then you're really wasting your existence. And it's hard not to meet upon that kind of mindset or that idea. So I feel like that's one place where the guilt comes from, where you think or you feel as if you need to always be doing something, you need to always be on the go, on the move. And I know there are some of us who will quickly say, feelings aren't facts. They may not be, but they are important. And they're important because you can investigate those feelings. We can ask questions like, what is the source? Where are these feelings coming from? Are these feelings that have been projected onto me? Or am I feeling this way because of a deep-rooted idea I have in my own mind? And is that idea a good idea to have? Is it the right idea to have? And if so, why? And if not, why? So I struggle with being highly productive and not wanting to do a god thing. And there are days it's really difficult. It's really difficult. And I'm not talking about the professional side of things. That's not what we're talking about. I'm talking about the projects or the other personal goals you set for yourself that you believe will take you one step closer and ultimately to the life that you envision for yourself. Those are the activities I'm talking about. So for some of us, it's a side hustle that we confidently believe will grant us the opportunity to create for ourselves financial freedom, so we no longer have to work for somebody else. I'm talking about the desire to write a book. You've always wanted to write a book and you just feel that it's been laid on your heart to write a book or a particular book, and you feel unsettled, or you tell yourself you're unsettled until that book is written and published. So those are the things I'm referring to. Not your 9 to 5 at all. That is a separate conversation. So why is there a need? Why do we have a need to achieve? That's a question I want us to ask ourselves. I can tell you I don't have the answer. I'm still searching. So if you have one, please, by all means, share it with me. But that's a question I'm posing here and now. Why do we feel the need to achieve? Is it that we believe our value as human beings is tied to our achievements? Is it a matter of having a sense of worth? And I ask these questions because of a saying that I'm hearing in my mind. I don't know if you have ever heard this expression before, but you live for X amount of years and you have nothing to show for it. Or you've been doing this for X amount of years, what do you have to show for it? So I don't know if it's a Jamaican thing or it's a Caribbean thing or it's just a people thing where after a passage of time and after doing a particular activity, there must be something to show for it. As if to say that if you have nothing to show, then you are worthless and the experience was worthless. And a typical example is people migrate to another country, and it's usually North America, so it's the USA and it's Canada, and they've been living in these countries for decades. And if for whatever reason you do an inquiry into their achievements, depending on what you find, Some people will be of the view that you live a foreign for so long and you have nothing for show for it. Nothing. No house. No business. No other property. Nothing. You just dead just a live so. If you've never heard that expression, count yourself lucky. And I bring this up because there is the idea that whatever you go through, you must always have something to show for it. And I want to ask the question, why? Why do you have to have something to show for it? Isn't the experience enough? So sit with yourselves, ask yourselves that question. Isn't the experience enough? And if it's not enough, why is it not enough? Is it because you were told it's not enough? Or is it because deep down within you, you know it's not enough? I remember reading a book. Forgive me, I don't remember the book. I just remember this passage because I found it to be so profound. And yeah, if it was really profound, I'd remember the book and the author, right? No, I don't. The idea in the passage I read that stood out to me was people build monuments and leave legacies out of fear of being forgotten. And I paused and I said to myself, wow, is it really fear that drives us to achieve? And is it a fear of death and being forgotten? Because really and truly, why do some of us work ourselves to within an inch of our life to achieve something that we've told ourselves is important to achieve? Some people spend years in school studying to achieve the highest possible degree they can achieve, subjecting themselves to enormous amounts of stress. Other people go into debt, lose relationships, lose marriages, lose finances, lose almost their minds, or almost lose their minds because they need to build this business. And there are so many other examples I could cite here. My question is, and yes, I know I've asked so many questions. That's what this episode is about. Asking the questions, getting us to really think about these things because they are important, because they drive how we live. So our unwavering commitment to achieve, what is it rooted in? Is it rooted in a fear of being forgotten? Because there must be something to show for you being on this earth. You came here. You lived here. What do you have to show for it? Some people have buildings named after them. Others have monuments and statues erected in their honor. Other people get stars on Hollywood Boulevard. Other people name foundations after themselves, have a day named after them, have a street named after them, have a city named after them, have schools, buildings on university campuses named after them. Why do we do all those things? What is so important about stamping your name on something that you believe is permanent? Is it because still want to be remembered long after you're gone? Is it that you're so afraid of dying that the only way you can deal with the idea of death and your own mortality is that you find creative ways to prolong some essence of your existence in what you think are things that are permanent? Are those the reasons? Or is it something entirely different? You just want to. That's for you to sit and decide. I just wanted to call these things to your attention because I find there is value in truly investigating the motivation behind the things that we do. Because let's face it, none of those things are permanent. We might think they're permanent, but they're not. Just ask the people who pulled down a whole host of monuments and statues dedicated to leaders of the Army of the South who were pushing for slavery to continue, the Confederate Army. So the General Lees of the world. Just ask the people who pulled those statues down and said, we don't want these things here. We're not glorifying these people who wanted slavery to continue. We're not doing that. Buildings can blow up. They can crumble. A star can be removed. A proclamation for a day can be reversed. So none of these things are truly permanent if we really think about it. Another question I want to ask is it so wrong if you're forgotten? No, really think about that. Sit with that question. You came into this world, you lived your life, and you made your exit. If nobody else who survives you on this earth remembers you, would it be so bad? Would it really be so bad? Because you're not among them anymore, no. So it's not like you're going to feel anything. And if you're of the school of thought that your consciousness continues because energy is neither created nor destroyed, so in some capacity there will be an awareness. What you gonna do about it? What you can do about it? You can't do nothing. If everybody decides, say, when you're going at the ground, them are gonna forget about you. What you can do? And does it mean then we should just all stop? Just forget everything and just stop and just live and enjoy life? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just asking these questions because these are questions I grapple with. And I don't know if you grapple with these questions. If you don't, then you maybe need to come join me and ask yourself these questions too and really examine if the things you're doing are really worth it. Are you just moving from one day to the next, just achieving and doing? But are you living? When was the last time you stopped to take in a bird? And by that I mean just stop and listen to them talk to each other. When was the last time you enjoyed something as simple and as beautiful as that? And if you can remember, good. Create more moments like that. And if you can't remember, it's okay. Better late than never. Create the time to enjoy those things. In the evenings, I go for a walk on a trail that's near where I live. And I don't remember how the conversation came up about blue jays. I've been living in Canada now for 6 years and I've never seen one. And it's the mascot of our baseball team. I've never seen one. I figured it was a real bird, but I just never seen one. And on my walk on Tuesday, I heard the sounds like they were above me. And I said they, as in birds. I didn't know what type they were. I couldn't see them. I could just hear them. I was talking on the phone. Person heard the birds too and said, those are blue jays. And I got excited because I'd never seen a blue jay. And I stopped and I looked. I couldn't see it. But I could hear it and I could tell it was close by and I needed to see this bird because I'd never seen one before. And I saw one. And I was so excited. I was really excited and happy to see one. And then the universe didn't only bless me with seeing one, I saw two and they were so close. And of course I wanted to grab my phone and take a picture, but universe had other plans because there's sometimes the memories are better experienced than captured. So I didn't get to snap a pic and I don't think I'd have done the birds any justice. And I was so happy for the rest of the walk because I'd finally seen what the blue jay looks like. And I bring this up because it is the simple moments that if we open ourselves up to, we can get so much pleasure and joy from. When was the last time you stopped to smell a rose? I mean, we have that expression for a reason. Stop and smell the roses. Because we really should stop and smell the roses. When was the last time you bought yourself some roses? So my encouragement to you is find pleasure in the simple things. It is fantastic to have goals and dreams and visions. And don't get me wrong, I am not advocating for being a sloth. No, not at all. I have goals, audacious goals. I have dreams that scare me, but I love a challenge. So I'm going to do what I can with what I have to make those dreams a reality and to live out my audacious goals. But in the pursuit of that, there needs to be balance. There needs to be a time where I just be. And it's okay to just be. If we look at the example that was set by the Creator, 6 days were used for creation, and on the 7th day he rested. No, I'm not here to advocate for whether or not the 7th day is Saturday or whether or not no work whatsoever should be done on Saturday. That's not what I'm talking about. Not going down that road. I'm saying there needs to be a time where you rest and you just exist. You just be. You just enjoy being on this earth, breathing, seeing, hearing, touching, tasting. And it shouldn't be that you have to go on vacation to enjoy your life and enjoy yourself. You can. You shouldn't have to wait to do that. You shouldn't have to wait for a long weekend. You shouldn't have to wait for a holiday. 5 minutes of your day to just stop. Look outside your window if you have a window to look outside. Enjoy how green the grass is, how green the leaves of the tree are. If you're lucky enough to hear birds or some other creature, just acknowledging that you are on this earth and that you can enjoy the pleasures it affords. So my beautiful souls, thank you so much for joining me on this winding road. This has been laid on my heart to share with you because it's an issue that I struggle with. You know, those quiet moments when I think and reflect on my life and what I'm doing. These are the questions I ask myself. So I thought it was a good idea to share these questions with you and get you to really think about your own lives and how you're living them and what you're doing and why you do what you do. And if you already think these thoughts and you already ask yourself these questions and you're diligently seeking the answers, then well done, crack on. And if you're not, now might be a good time to start. And here's the thing too, you don't even have to ask yourself these questions, you know. I mean, it's your life. You're free to live it however you want to, and that is okay. You absolutely do not need to ask yourself one question because you have nothing to prove to anybody, at least you shouldn't. As long as you are happy, that's all that matters. You like it, I love it. So, thank you for listening. I hope that there's something in this episode that resonates with you, and I have either set you on a path to really do some honest, deep reflection. You're inspired to have this conversation with your circle of friends, your network, or I've just gotten you to just think about something else. I appreciate the love, the feedback, your faithful listenership. It's really appreciated. Remember to subscribe if you haven't, so you get the notifications. If you haven't noticed, this is my 4th week of delivering an episode weekly. Yay! Yes, let's hear it. Let's give me a round of applause. Yes. It's been a long time coming. I've really wanted to do weekly episodes, but I'll save the rationale for another episode. So finally gotten out of my own head, decided to just go for it, and here I am producing weekly content. So if you haven't yet subscribed, turn the notification on so you're reminded when I put the episodes out. Share it with your friends and your family and your network. There's also a YouTube channel. Find me on there. Like, share, and subscribe. And if there is a topic you want me to discuss, drop me a note. Like, you can reach me through messages, DMs. If you have my number, call, text, send me an email. I'll drop the email in the show notes. Reach me on the website. There is a website, did you know? Yes. The podcast has a website where I also do weekly blogs. So go check those out. I will also link the website in the show notes. So leave me a comment there as well. If you want to reach me, you'll find a way. So let me know if there's something you want me to discuss. Let me know if you want to have a guest on. Make some suggestions. I'm looking to collaborate with amazing, interesting people. So drop me some suggestions. Give me some ideas. I definitely want to be more collaborative going forward. Absolutely. Because the perspective does matter, and I want you to hear not just my perspective, but other perspectives as well. I'd like to hear yours too. So please, don't be shy. Drop me a message. It was my pleasure bringing this week's episode. A little winding, yes, twists and turns. That's how my mind works. So bear with me. Get used to it. If you're not already used to it. Thank you so much for listening. And Until next time, remember, there are two sides to every coin. Just flip it to get the full view. Catch you next week. Yes, I said it. Next week. I will be here. Make sure you are here. Alright? Catch you next week. Bye.